in case they watch it later. So welcome back. Welcome to 2023. It's the start of a whole new year. We're thinking about the things that went well last year. We're thinking about our goals for this year for ourselves and others. And we're getting started on the right foot with school. So I forgot to send you guys a note telling you what's going on, but I will right now put the link to our week at a glance. I think you guys probably all have that by now, but you know, it doesn't hurt to have it. So let me look for it. I put it in the chat somewhere. Where did I put it? Where did I put it? Padlet, here it is. So here's the link to our week at a glance, which you can click on and it'll show you what's going on this week. I'm also going to just share my screen and kind of walk through it a little bit. Oh, here comes Amadi. He must have gotten kicked out. Okay. Lauren, what's your question?
Do we have any writing this week?
Well, I'll show you. Okay. So we are starting all new units. We had that break before week, but it's all new units. Here we go. So we have, that's not it. Here it is. Here's your week at a glance. So you can say that we didn't have school yesterday, that today we've got lesson 4.0, transportation. It has a mod 4 pretest, and you're going to start on the first lesson, 4.01, word meaning, tracing the tractor's legacy. I put the quiz in here, but actually, oh, it's just the pretest. So it's not actually the end of 4.01. This is the pretest. And then you have this lesson for 3 days and your quiz is due on Thursday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah. So we'll take a look at that in a minute. And then you have specials with today's an A day. Math time, we're starting mod 7. So we have the pretest today. And then what I wanted to tell you about math, and the reason I sent some of you reminders about the last math, is that math is going to go pretty fast this week. All of these assignments said they are only 1-day assignments. So you'll see here you have lesson 701 and a quiz on 701. Then on Thursday, lesson 702 and a quiz on 702. Then on Friday, lesson 703 and a quiz on 703. So that's not a problem as long as you come in, do the lessons and stay on top of it. But then next week, math 704 is due on Monday, 705 is due on Tuesday, 706 is due on Wednesday. And then we have an in-person day next week. And what we're going to do on the in-person day is this month's science has a lot of experiments. And so I'm going to actually do all the experiments with you, or most of them, in person on this Thursday morning. If you want to do them at home or you're not coming in person, go ahead and do the experiments. But otherwise, when you're doing these lessons, 502, 503, skip the experiments and we'll do those. I'll have all the materials and we'll do them in person. Be kind of fun. We're going to play with water and I'll have you bring in your printed out booklets and we'll fill out the pages then. So in writing, in mod 4, I'm actually going to have you for the first time just follow the modules writing. So it is informational writing. They are asking you to read 2 stories and then write a 5-paragraph essay. I can hear Lauren cheering. He does love a 5-paragraph essay about a nonfiction topic. It has to do with transportation. And you have to base your essay off of those 2 stories that are in the chapter. So you're actually going to follow along with the chapter. But I did make a separate assignment that says informational writing, because once again, the writing can be so confusing in the chapter, and it only has 1 deadline for the graphic organizer. And then you're supposed to be writing the whole time, like every day. So if you zoom in for writing, I will explain like what you're supposed to be doing every day and help you through it. So if you're a person who's had trouble getting the writing done, you should definitely come into class. If you're a person who did not turn in your last writing or is having trouble like scheduling their time to do a little bit of writing each day, make sure you come to that class, because if you come to the class, you'll definitely be done in 3 weeks. Okay. So that's what's happening this year this week with the schedule. Any questions about the academics this week? I know we haven't gone through it at all. Any questions? That seems to make sense. Okay. Since we have time right now, then I'm going to go to today's agenda and take a look at that. So let's go to, oh, not that, this. Here we are in the calendar. We're in January. You might have to toggle up here to move from December to January. I know I did. Oh, that's interesting. Am I really not logged in? Evidently, I'm not. Well, that's interesting. Let's go here and open up Canvas again. I love technology. You guys are also going to be in the next few weeks, probably in the next 3 or 4 weeks. I think they're going to have them ready for you next week, actually, if you want to. We're going to have the workbooks, the next set of workbooks ready. And you're also going to get a microbit computer. And we're going to be doing computer lessons. It's not a big computer. It's a little microchip. And you're going to get a kit. And we're going to do those lessons together online. So everybody will get that at home, which is cool. Okay, so here we are. We'll go to the calendar. And like I said up here, you might have to toggle between December to January. Make sure you're in January 2023. Make sure you've got the things clicked on the side that you need. And then if you go to Tuesday, you'll see that today we have 3 book clubs, 3A, 4A, and 5A, untitled, The Reading Cats and the Heart of Reading. So Reading Cats, you're at 11, remember, every Tuesday and Thursday. So please try and come in for that. Let me know if you can't come in because we're really trying to get you guys together. Here's our agenda. So you can see we Zoomed this morning. Happy New Year's. Zoom to morning meeting, New Year's resolutions. We did that already. Mod 4 pretest and reading 401, the lesson. But again, the quiz is not the end of 401, it's the pretest. Then you have specials, then you have your math lesson and book club. Informational writing. I'm going to talk about the writing at that point. The reading, the Love of Reading book club, the science lesson. We're starting mod 7. We'll do a few lessons from mod 5 on energy and then switch to mod 7. So this is 5. I'm going to skip through mod 5 because they're both about energy, mod 5 and mod 7. So I just picked a few lessons to get through in mod 5, and then we're going to go to mod 7. I'm going to kind of skim through some of those lessons and not make you do all the assignments of mod 5. Any questions about that? Nope, everybody's so quiet. Let's go to 401 and take a look at this new mod. Actually, let me go to it through here because I want to show you where the writing is. So again, I've moved around the modules. Is that right? Yeah, mod 4. Okay. So mod 4 should pop up at the top of your list of modules now. I think when I change them, it changes for you guys too. Is that right? No response. Okay, you guys. At the top of it, you'll see it says informational writing. So if you go to that, it's going to explain the writing for the unit. So if you don't make it to writing class, make sure you go through here. I'm going to be doing live lessons. I'll be posting them here as we go through it. It's about 3 weeks. It's due on Friday, the 20th. So today's the 3rd. You have till the 20th. That's 17 days to write an essay. That's plenty of time. So if you're a person who's been running out of time and not done at the end, tell yourself right now, if you write a little bit every day for 17 days, it's not going to be hard at all, right? So make sure you come in and get started on this writing today. All right. If you go to the bottom and go to the next lesson. This is your introduction with the pretest to transportation. We're going to be talking about transportation a little bit and how it's changed the world. Kind of interesting. It's our I guess we've had some other nonfiction topics, but here's your pretest. And then if you go from that to the lesson, here's today's language arts lesson. So it starts out, it's 14 pages long, but remember you have 3 days to do it. And it talks about the St. Louis Arch. Has anybody been to St. Louis, Missouri and seen this arch? No? This is a real thing and you can go up inside of it, I think. I don't know. I've seen it, but I've never been in it. You're going to be learning strategies for determining meanings of unknown words. You're going to use the perfect verb tense and write a multi-paragraph informative essay using evidence from the text. You're really doing that this time, following the chapter. So Page 2. Word wisdom. So this is about vocabulary and how to solve for vocabulary using your context clues. It's got 5 pages talking about that. You guys are good at that. And then it goes on to page 3, talking about what words mean and has some activities. I'm going to skip through that and get to the writing part. Reading corner, classic clues. Okay, it's talking about blacksmiths. And it's talking about how you can use other things. So it's interesting because writing used to be just words, but now you have all these different formats using sound and images. And they're talking about how you can enhance or make a piece of writing better using sound and images. So more of your senses get involved. So we're talking about that. More context clues, more vocabulary. And then here's tracing the tractor's legacy. So here is this story, tracing the tractor's legacy. This story is super important because it is the story you're going to use to write your essay. There are going to be 2 stories. This is the first one. So obviously, before you can start writing your essay, you're going to have to read this story, tracing the tractor's legacy. I'm actually going to be gone tomorrow. And I'm going to have the substitute read you this whole story. So you can read it yourself because you're going to have to read it several times since you're using it to write about it. But also, she is going to read that tomorrow. I have a funeral to go to tomorrow, so I have to go. Okay. And they're just having you look at the story for the first time. And then they start in on Writer's Workshop. It's got some grammar lessons and perfect tense. It's just a grammar thing. If you ask your parents what's perfect tense, they're not going to know. But it's good to learn these things. And then they talk about informative writing. This has a whole page of information. If you do not come to our meetings, you're going to want to look here at this chart, and you have this in your booklet that show you how to write your essay. So you can see here, it's got the introduction with a hook, a bridge, a controlling idea, 3 body paragraphs where you stay on topic. Each topic, it has a topic sentence, some evidence. This time your evidence isn't going to be stories, it's going to be evidence from the text. And then the conclusion. So this is formed just like your last essay, only this one is nonfiction and based on the stories, not on your opinions. Okay, so but it's the structure is just like your informative essay or your essay. And then it talks about brainstorming and planning your writing. And here's, that was the writing prompt. So here's the big prompt that you're going to be writing about. Oh, this is interesting. No, this is Carolina's exemplar. So this is what she wrote about. This is not your writing prompt. This is her writing prompt. So don't get confused about that. They're just showing you an example of how she planned her essay about water transportation. And then your prompt is just really close to this one. Here it is. Here is your prompt on page 11. Tracing the tractor's legacy and the car catalyst, which you have not read yet. It's in the next lesson. Discuss 2 different modes of transportation and then how they have changed over time. Using the text, explain how transportation changed the world. Use evidence from the text to support your response. So this is your big topic, and it's in the assignment that I pulled out too. So here are the 2 stories. You can get them here, but you can get them in the next chapter too, because we haven't read this one yet. And then you're going to start brainstorming ideas. Again, you're going to have to read and reread those stories in order to write this essay. Okay, and here's an exit card, and here's a lesson summary. And then this chapter ends on Thursday with you taking a quiz. So this is why I say the writing, you of course didn't have to turn in anything this week. And so the problem with that is you're going to be like, oh, I didn't have to do anything. But if you don't do anything, you're already behind. So by Thursday, you should have kind of a plan for how you're going to write your essay. And you should have read the 2 stories. Okay, or Friday. I'm sorry, by Friday. That's it, my friends. I know that was a lot thrown at you. And I just wanted to give you sort of like a big picture of where we're going for the next 3 weeks. After 3 weeks, we'll have another flex week where you'll get to kind of take a break and catch up. Okay. If anybody wants to stay and chat with me and tell me any personal stories about their break, you can stay. Otherwise, you've got about 10 minutes until specials, and I'll let you take off and take a look at that language arts lesson. Have a great morning, and I'll see you at 10 for math.
Bye.
Bye, guys. So good to see you.